Just a minute to make your way to your seats. Thank you. You guys get quieter a lot faster than other crowds do, I have to say. You'll find a prize under your seat for that? No, not really. All right, well, welcome to the 2024 Desert Hot Springs State of the City. I'm Brandon Marley, President and CEO of the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce, and it is our privilege to partner with the City of Desert Hot Springs, and we're excited to host you today. Our goal for this event is to create a sense of community and foster a shared vision for the future of Desert Hot Springs. We want you to feel invested and proud of your city, just as much as the city is committed to investing in you. Now to begin, I'd like to invite up first the Color Guard, followed by the Desert Hot Springs High School Choir for the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color guard, halt! Order! Colors! Ready? Cut! Color guard, fall out!
You can all be seated. So I'd like to start by thanking the team here at the Desert Hot Springs Recreation Center. Let's give them a round of applause. And I'd also like to thank my team at the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber. Thank you for putting on this beautiful event. Please give my team a round of applause. And now I'd like to welcome to the stage our Regional Board Chair, Julio Figueroa with AT&T.
Good morning, everyone, or is it afternoon yet? Good morning. Before I go into my prepared comments, I was in San Diego last night watching my Padres clinch a spot in the playoffs. How many of my Padre fans are here today? We got a few. How about Dodger fans? Padre fans, let's boo, Padre fans. Well, best of luck this weekend. Anyways, again, thank you. Good morning. Like Brandon mentioned, my name is Julio Figueroa, and I have the honor of serving as the chair of the board for the Chamber of Commerce. I also serve as the tribal liaison for AT&T California and Nevada, and director of external legislative affairs for AT&T for Riverside, San Bernardino, and Inyo counties. I would like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Cahuilla people and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, this meeting place is home to many indigenous people from all over the world, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. It is our privilege to partner with the City of Desert Hot Springs, and on behalf of the board and our staff, we are excited to host you today. Let's take a moment to thank all of our regional board of directors in attendance today. Please rise so you are recognized if you're on the board. Thank you for your tireless commitment to ensure that the business community is friendly and we support our business folks in this region. And now let's recognize our sponsors of today's event. We thank you for your continued support of the GCVCC and the business community. This event would not be possible without your commitment to the business community. First, I'd like to thank our title sponsor. First up is Desert Oasis Healthcare, who has prepared a short video, so I'll please direct you to the screen.
Work demands so much from all of us, whether it's at home or at the office. It's important to stay ahead of the curve and have a team that excels in their roles. It's time to shift the focus to what truly matters, your employees' health and well-being. This is why Desert Oasis Healthcare is proud to offer comprehensive resources for workplace wellness, empowering you and your employees to live a healthy life. Living a healthy life gives you the energy you need to do more, think better, and be successful. And healthy employees are happier, work harder, take fewer sick days, and cost less for their healthcare benefits. We can provide you with education and resources, pharmacists to help you manage your medications, doctor visits, virtual or in-person classes such as exercise, diabetes, or nutrition sessions that help you maintain your weight and well-being, on-site screenings, vaccines, and so much more. We help you build a culture of workplace wellness. Together, we can create a workplace where well-being thrives, leading to increased success for all.
Desert Oasis Healthcare is a premier healthcare provider offering exceptional care at value prices, and we love serving our patients. We're also so proud of our own local, national, and internationally recognized award-winning employee health, wellness, and engagement program. We would love to be an option for your employees' healthcare. Or if we can help you implement workplace wellness programs and initiatives for your organization, please feel free to reach out to the contact information listed on the screen. We would love to work with you.
All right, let's hear it for Desert Oasis Healthcare. Next, I'd like to thank our second title sponsor, Desert Wildlife Center, who has also provided a short video, and I'll ask Bart Very to come up as the video is being played. Thank you.
Hi, Tamara Hedges here with the Friends of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter Board of Directors. And I'm here at the future location of our new Wildlife Center. So excited. For many years, Coachella Valley Wild Bird Center was here on this site, taking in injured and sick birds throughout the Coachella Valley. Well, they closed down last summer, and unfortunately, there's no wildlife rescue rehab center in all of the Coachella Valley. So we are very excited that we will be taking this location, this spot, and we'll be opening up a wildlife center. We're going to start first with birds, and then we're going on to reptiles and then mammals. We're just getting started and we're so excited about this project. It's so needed and there's so many ways for folks to get involved. If you care about wildlife, this is the place to be.
And a correction, I have Dan Rossi here from Desert Wildlife Center who will provide some comments.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dan Rossi. I'm the Executive Director of the Friends of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. We are the nonprofit that runs the day-to-day operations of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. We saw the need for wildlife rehabilitation here in the valley. There's nobody doing that in the Coachella Valley at all. So when this opportunity came up to open up the old center there, and we've renamed that the Desert Wildlife Center, we're excited to really start services there. Hopefully early 2025 will be open. Actually, next week we have the state coming down to help us with the permitting process to get that moving. On a more local level, we have a great partnership with Desert Hot Springs. We do a lot with your animal control, and we look forward to some future closer relationships with your community as well. If you have any questions about what we're doing with the Wildlife Center or about our organization, we're at table 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Next, I'd like to thank our presenting sponsors. Our first presenting sponsor today, please help me in providing a round of applause for Amazon. Next, we have a short video from our presenting sponsor, Desert Care Network, and I'll direct you to the screen.
For 50 years, we have been committed to giving back and helping our community achieve health for life.
And today, that commitment is core to everything we do at Desert Care Network.
We are the desert's biggest hospital provider of free and discounted care, offering more than $100 million a year in charity care and discounts to the uninsured.
And over the years, we've invested millions in local charities. Desert Care Network has donated $7 million to DAP Health, promoting health equity to all people, while raising awareness through the DAP Health Equity Walk.
In the past 10 years, Desert Care Network has donated $2 million to the Coachella Valley Volunteers in Medicine.
Find Food Bank and the Desert Care Network have had a partnership for many, many years now.
And through various efforts, we've donated millions more to charities like the Women Leaders Forum, Find Food Bank, Martha's Village and Kitchen, and Greater Palm Springs Pride.
But community isn't just about giving back, it's about stepping forward.
Through mobile clinics, our resident physicians provide free care where it's needed most.
Desert Care Network and our community.
We are better together.
All right, next, please help me in acknowledging with a round of applause to our presenting sponsor, Mission Springs Water District. And our final presenting sponsor is Palm Springs International Film Society. Let's welcome to the stage Kelly Rogers with Palm Springs International Film Society. It doesn't appear that she's here, but okay. Thank you, Palm Springs International Film Society, for the sponsorship and your support. Next, I'd like to thank our award sponsor, Joshua Tree Gateway Communities Alliance. Please help me recognize it with a round of applause. Next, I'd like to thank our centerpiece sponsors, Southern California Edison and JNS Next. And last, I'd like to thank our community sponsors. Please hold your applause until all are named. Alpha Media, Altura Credit Union, AT&T. You can go ahead and pause for AT&T. Bank of California, City of La Quinta, Desert Arc Shredding and Recycling, Desert Valley Disposal, Desert Water Agency, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, First Bank, Food Now, KESQ, NBC Palm Springs Univision, Riverside County Supervisor V. Manuel Perez, Sun Community Federal Credit Union, Visit Greater Palm Springs. Please join me in a round of applause for all the sponsors. All right, next I'd like to thank all of our elected officials in attendance today. Please rise so we recognize you with a round of applause and for your commitment you're doing to the community. All right, now please join me in welcoming the chair of the Desert Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce, Jeff Holman. Come on up, Jeff.
I'm glad they got that ramp. I don't know if I could have made it up steps. This is high stage. Thank you, everyone. I'm happy to be here, and thank you, Julio. I hope everyone's having a great day. Wanted to take a moment to recognize some of the amazing people who make up the Desert Hot Springs board for the Chamber of Commerce. These folks are truly dedicated to making Desert Hot Springs and the business community a better place. They work hard in representing businesses up here every day. So my board, if you could please stand up and be recognized. Vicky Patel from NBC Univision, Irene Rodriguez from Cabot's Pueblo Museum, Ronnie Marriott from JNS Next, Marion Champion from Mission Springs Water District, Dory Peedy from Mission Springs Water District, Darnisha Beeler from Chase Bank, and Scott Russick from Caputo Group. Can I have a round of applause for these people, please? And thank you guys once again for all you do for our DHS business community. Now on to our business awards. We want to acknowledge some essential leaders in our community and use this moment to honor our local community. Over the past year, these businesses have demonstrated a unique contribution and involvement to Desert Hot Springs. As we announce award winners, we invite you to the stage to accept your award, take a photo, and share a few words. First, our 2024 Desert Hot Springs Ambassador of the Year goes to Darnisha Beeler. While she comes to the stage, we have a short video.
Hi, my name is Darnisha Beeler. I serve as Vice President and Community Manager here at JP Morgan Chase. My journey has been fueled by a passion of community service and helping others achieve financial well-being. So over the years, I have had the privilege of working very closely with local organizations, nonprofits, community leaders, and small business owners to address financial health education here on a local level, affordable housing, workforce diversity, and then also helping minority entrepreneurs with access to resources and capital that they may not have had in the past. So the connections I've made along the way are truly the heart of everything that I do. I've always believed in the power of collaboration, bringing people together to uplift and support one another, specifically our community. So whether it's through financial education, community events, or just simply being a resource to others, my role here at JP Morgan Chase allows for me to bridge the gap between the corporate world and the community I care so deeply about. So this award is like literally a reminder of the importance of staying committed to making a difference. And I'm incredibly grateful to the Desert Hot Springs community for just opening and welcoming me with open arms. And so I'm so happy to be here today. And I want to thank my colleagues that will be at the event and then everyone that attend this event to help support the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce and the winners also. Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much, and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here. Honestly, I like the work that I do. I don't expect to get recognized for the work that I do because I'm so passionate about community, uplifting communities, uplifting individuals. And so I do feel blessed. It is very nice to be seen. So thank you all. And congratulations to the other business award winners today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you again, Darnisha, for all your help and support. Now, our 2024 Restaurant of the Year goes to Capri Italian Restaurant, part of Miracle Springs Resort. Unfortunately, I do not think they were able to make it today. They're busy serving lunch of their own. So I will accept the award on their behalf and make sure they get it. And moving on, now I want to recognize our 2024 New Business of the Year, Discount Dazzle. And we have a video from them as well.
Thank you, everyone, for this award. We are very excited to be in the community of Desert Hot Springs with another business. We put in about 4 or 5 months of nonstop 14, 16-hour days to bring this to the community, and we have been thoroughly surprised and appreciative of the support we've gotten from the city, along with the Chamber of Commerce, also from the community itself. We are on track to hopefully reinvest in the city a lot further as well. So I just want to give a shout out and thank you to everybody in the community, all the help and support in advertising, and just the overall commitment to growing the city itself. Thank you.
Thank you. I was at the ribbon cutting, what seems like a few weeks, it was probably a few months ago, and it was a very nice store with a unique business model. If you guys haven't made it in there, I recommend checking them out. See here. Now, next up, I want to honor our 2024 Nonprofit of the Year, Food Now. While they come to this stage, they have also prepared a short video.
Hi, my name is Dana Johnson. I'm proud to serve as the Executive Director for Food Now. Food Now is more than a food pantry. It's a lifeline. We're dedicated to enhancing the quality of life for Coachella Valley residents, offering food assistance, community outreach, and support services that strengthen families and build healthier communities. We're one of the largest food distribution operations in the entire Coachella Valley. Each year we distribute nearly 1 million pounds of healthy, nutritious food. On a weekly basis, we'll help about 360 households achieve food security. And during the holiday season, that number surges to well over 600 families every week. But it's not just about the numbers. We have some neighbors who are facing unique challenges. That's why we provide home deliveries for about 90 households every week. Whether it be to a medical necessity or transportation barriers, we want to make sure that nobody faces hunger alone. And our commitment extends to children as well. For many children, school meals are the only nutrition they get. By the weekends, though, they're vulnerable to hunger. That's where Food Now steps in. Through our Weekend Meals for Hungry Kids program, we provide 240 chronically hungry children with food to sustain them throughout the weekend. We're also here for our homeless neighbors. Each day we're open Monday through Thursday. We serve up to 60 of our clients experiencing homelessness with ready meals, offering them nourishment and hope. We even care about our community's pets. With well over 60% of our clients are pet owners, we know how important their pets are. That's why we make it a priority to provide pet food along with our weekly food distributions. At Food Now, we're more than just a service. We're a community to serving with dignity, respect, and compassion. Together, we're helping reduce hunger, end poverty, and improve the well-being of those we are privileged to serve.
Thank you. I'm Tom Tragesser, Director of Operations at Food Now, and on behalf of Food Now, we want to thank the Chamber of Commerce, City of Desert Hot Springs, other communities throughout the desert, our corporate sponsors, our individual supporters, our staff, our great board of directors, and most of all, our volunteers who really allow us to operate every day and serve the community. Thanks again.
Thank you. And moving on, I'd like to announce our 2024 Business of the Year is going to Azure Palm Hot Springs Resort and Day Spa. Please direct your attention to the screen for their video as they make their way to the stage.
Nature has deposited an extraordinary, luxurious natural resource in abundance within our city. In the 1970s, there were 140 spas in Desert Hot Springs, but they were so spread out that a center never developed, like a downtown Palm Springs. Next year, Hacienda Avenue street improvement begins, and the city continues to offer incentives to businesses, such as TOT rebate programs. Working with the Rekindled Hotel Association under a Miracle Hill branding that includes all of Desert Hot Springs spas, we will create a synergy with each other and create a destination draw larger than the sum of its parts. Azure Palm Hot Springs, with its oasis, event space, and dining expansion coming soon, and an even larger future oasis, augments the numerous spas that already attract people from all over the world. They come to relax, restore, and rejuvenate. They come to Miracle Hill in Desert Hot Springs.
Did we have someone here on behalf of Azure? Where did they go? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Good afternoon. A number of years ago, I was driving up Palm Drive with a potential investor, and he looked up and he said, "What is that up there, all those lights?" And I said, "Well, that's Desert Hot Springs. That's Miracle Hill. It's a miracle there's no dry cleaners up there." But the jokes are over because now our time has come. Now is the time for Desert Hot Springs to fulfill its mission statement, which is the City of Desert Hot Springs is committed to becoming a world-class health and wellness destination based on its famous miracle waters. We already have a good number of wonderful spas, including the new Acres Landing. Did you see that spread in the newspaper this morning? Absolutely incredible. Beautiful property. Sabine, if you were here, you knocked it out of the park. But if we're going to grab a portion of the $5 billion Coachella Valley tourist industry, we need more. We need more, bigger, and more. TOT will bring wealth to Desert Hot Springs residents, and it will bring a future to the children. We need to do this. This year, let us please focus on building tourism in Desert Hot Springs and having Desert Hot Springs fulfill its destiny. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Azure. And now we will move on to our State of the City. Please give a round of applause and welcome Mayor Scott Mattis to the stage as he takes it from here.
So welcome to the City of Desert Hot Springs and welcome to the 2024 State of the City. Before I get started, I am honored to be able to give an award to a local business here in Desert Hot Springs, and I don't think he was able to make it. Small business is tough a lot of times, but Abe, did you make it? Oh, he did make it. He's back there. Come up here, Abe. They were supposed to sit him at my table, but he snuck in the back there. And come on up here. This year, I wanted to honor Abe Robbins. He's a local business owner of a couple of different businesses. IBTHC was one of the first cannabis dispensaries to open in Desert Hot Springs and really take it to a different level. Abe and I have sat down and had many conversations about what we can do for the industry and how we can do it better. And I really appreciate what he does, but he didn't just believe that the cannabis space was important. He believed in Desert Hot Springs, and he opened up a second small business, which is a coffee shop, Express Yourself, there on Pearson. If you haven't had coffee today or you want some coffee soon, you can see the ones over there have already had their coffee for the day. You've got to stop in there and visit it. It's a great little shop that's going to have to expand in the future because he just has so many people. It's a line out the door every day. But I wanted to say thank you on behalf of the mayor, and I'm honored to be able to give you this 2024 Desert Hot Springs Mayor's Award.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'd love to sit up here and take all the credit for everything I've done, but to be honest with you guys, the City of Desert Hot Springs, I've been here since 2015, and they just welcomed me with open arms. Any type of help I've ever needed for my business, personal, anything, I'm just incredibly blessed to work with a group of people from the city staff, the mayor, so many names. They've really helped my business really expand here in the city, and to the community as well. I can't thank everybody enough because you know, we are a small, tight-knit community, and it really goes a long way. So having everyone's support is really huge. So thank you to everybody here as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about what the great things are happening in Desert Hot Springs. I appreciate each and every one of you. We were joking earlier, Brandon and I were, that 3 years ago it was tough to get people out because of COVID, right? And we were buying our own tables here, and now we're just bursting at the seams because everybody's out and about and getting back to what's important. And I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time. If you're not in Desert Hot Springs and you had to actually drive across the freeway for a reason, I'm glad this was the reason and that you're here to see what's going on. So here we go. The first thing I want to talk about, if I can get this to, it worked earlier. There we go. So, sorry, Julio, I'm a big Dodger fan, and I love to start with inspirational quotes. I think I put the wrong quote up there, but we're going to go with it. If you don't root for the Dodgers, you might not get into heaven, Julio. Whoops. Actually, this was the real quote I wanted to talk to. There are three types of baseball players: those who make it happen, those who watch it happen, and those who wonder what happens. When I became a Dodger fan in the early 80s, Tommy Lasorda was the manager, and he was a manager for 20 years for the Dodgers. And he was very inspirational because he stayed with the Dodger organization, being the vice president of operations up till he passed away in 2021. And I got to meet him in person one time, and he was exactly what you see on the screen. He's an Italian guy that loves to talk and eat. And he was talking, just talking to a random person that he had met, and he didn't stop talking for about 10 minutes. So it was awesome to meet him. But he has this quote: "Those who make it happen, those who watch it happen, and those who wonder what happened, and Desert Hot Springs is making it happen, and I hope to show you that today. Momentum in leadership. And I wanted to first address our staff. These are the department heads that work each and every day, so I would like them to stand. I'd also like the city staff to stand and show you the people in this room and all the hard work they do, and please give them a big round of applause. We are 5 people making decisions for the betterment of our community as policymakers, but these are the people that make it happen each and every day, and they're true people. They're not government, as a lot of people put those in quotation. These are real people working hard each day, so thank you for all you guys do. Fiscal vision and strategy. The first thing we always want to talk about is, where are we at today? There's a lot of rumors out there about Desert Hot Springs, and there's still a stigma out there, and we have to continue to tell a good story about Desert Hot Springs. So these are our revenue sources. And these are the reserve expenditures over the last 2 years. Desert Hot Springs City Council's majority decided that we were going to invest back in our city. Now, we had no reserves about 10 years ago, and we built them up to over $13 million. And over the last couple of years, we've reinvested back in our city, and I just want to make it clear how that's come about. So abatements and demos, what that means is Desert Hot Springs has had receivership programs and other dilapidated properties that our city code enforcement have gone after. And if property owners aren't going to take care of their properties, we're going to take care of it for them. We're going to make sure that they're not a health and safety issue, and we're going to make sure that our city doesn't have blight. So we spent $1.8 million in abatements, and most of that will be returned to us because the properties are liened with those costs. Cannabis revenues, we know those are down, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the future, or in the later slides, and we had to backfill this last year, $1.7 million. We did work with our Police Officers Association, and we gave some increases of $500,000. We did purchase our our unhoused navigation center, which is called the Hub, and there's a 1.5, almost $1.6 million invested in that through our reserves. And the old library, as you guys know, we built a new library here. There was the old library, which is within our senior center campus. We wanted to reinvest in our senior center campus. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But we ended up buying that building from the county at $350,000. So $5.9 million, just under $6 million was spent. Obviously, we've got to work on rebuilding those reserves, but I wanted to make sure that you knew the quality of life was being handled here in Desert Hot Springs by the current city council. Innovation and technology. What's really important is to be able to get, everybody's on their phone today and they want action right now. So you as citizens or even business owners or just come to Desert Hot Springs, you can download this app. A lot of cities in the Coachella Valley have this app, but my Desert Hot Springs app, you can download this, and if you see a problem, you can take a picture. If you need some information, you can find it on there. It's right at your fingertips on your smartphone. And this is another cool feature. If you want to know about projects in Desert Hot Springs, you can actually walk through it. You can go to our main webpage, cityofdhs.org, and you can go to our community development tab, and down below that tab, there's one called New Development Projects. And actually, you can click on every project that's in the pipeline and see exactly where it's at. So if you have any questions about those projects or hear any rumors and you want to see what's going on, check it out. Raise Communications is one of 3 providers of high-speed internet in Desert Hot Springs. 10G has now been activated in the city of Desert Hot Springs. Is that incredible? 10G. That means it has some of the fastest internet in the Coachella Valley, if not the fastest. And one of the private communication utility companies is Race. And I just wanted to say a shout out to them. They actually did a 300 backpack program to our kids. They're actually invested in Desert Hot Springs. They're opening their communication center, and it's a really awesome opportunity to see private business giving back to the community. The changeable message signs, this is something Councilmember Gary Gardner worked on about 4 years ago, and government never works fast, but they're up. One's operational on Palm Drive, and one will be operational very soon on Indian Canyon. This gives our residents and visitors opportunity to be able to use other routes when leaving the city, and those dreaded Indian Canyon and Gene Autry closures into Palm Springs, it gives you an opportunity to know they're closed well in advance so you can make opportunity to switch your route. And then solar applications, every building, every new home built in California has to have solar opportunity for it. So if you decide to get solar and your company wants to process it as quick as possible, they can do that now on the city website without even having to stop in. They can just go on the city website, process it there, and it'll get done really quickly for them. And one-stop fire permitting. Now, this is always something that's always tough. We contract with CAL FIRE and Riverside County Fire on the fire services, and one of them is the Fire Marshal Services. So when they go to do plan checks and have to check plans, a lot of times you'd have to drive somewhere else and drop those off. We're partnering with them in a lot of ways, and this is another one to have that one-stop shop at the City of Desert Hot Springs, and for anyone to be able to come in there and drop off their plans and not have to go and drop off another set with fire. Sustainability and conservation. This is really important for the City of Desert Hot Springs. As we all move towards electric vehicles, the governor has said we're all going to be mandated someday to drive an electric vehicle. So with that said, we have to build opportunities, and not everybody can afford to put those charging stations in their home. So the City of Desert Hot Springs on grant funding has reached out, and we're actually installing 80 EV charging stations, which will be able to charge up to 160 vehicles. There's some out here in this parking lot that are active today, and there's more being built throughout the city, and those are the sites on the screen there where they're going. We know there's challenges because not every EV is able to charge on a certain charging system, and the city's looking at other opportunities as they move forward with the new locations on how that's going to look. So if you have a certain type of vehicle and it won't charge at certain stations, maybe we have a mixture of those in the future. And SB 1383, I know the DVD's here. Chris is like, yes, it's all implemented finally, right? It's a tough situation when you're mandated by the state to do certain things, but this is actually a good opportunity for our state. There was so much waste of green waste going places it shouldn't have gone. So with SB 1383, we implemented it with the Desert Valley Disposal as our partner, and every resident now has a green waste and is required to actually do this. I believe it's 75% has to be removed from our landfills by 2025, and Desert Hot Springs has a goal of 50% just within our city. So we're working as partners with Desert Valley Disposal. We're going out each and every day trying to make a difference. And one of the programs that I partner with Councilmember Roger Nunez is on a city cleanup, and we saw that going out and trying to clean up city blocks was tough because not all the time we can get on private property. So we thought about something different. How about we partner with Desert Valley Disposal and we go into the schools and we start at the school level and we start teaching kids where to put their things rather than putting it out in the desert or in places they shouldn't, how to dispose of it correctly. And this program is in every school. We've gone through every school once, and we're on the process of every school twice now. I think that in a couple weeks we'll be at Corsini Elementary School. Now it works, that's Liz Hernandez on the screen. She works for Desert Valley Disposal. She comes out, she gives a little spiel to kids. She has some fun activities where they can put certain types of trash, it's just paper, but certain types of trash into certain places, and they learn how to recycle it. And then we go out in the schoolyard with the principals and the teachers, and we pick up trash for about a half hour just to really bring it in. They give prizes out, and the kids are just fantastic, in hopes that they'll go home and tell people where to put the proper trash when we all have busy lives. Polaris Village's Scenic Crest, it's a 3D type of home that's being built in the city of Desert Hot Springs. At one point they had 77 lots. They've narrowed that down to 20 lots, but they're still building. It's 60% recycled material, and if you have a chance, they're located at the east end of our city up by the Hacienda Heights. Economic diversity and tourism. This is really awesome to talk about. So in 2022, I announced 2 years ago that the city of Desert Hot Springs was in the census and in reporting was the most diverse city in the Coachella Valley, just above Cathedral City. And why that's important is because we continue to look at our population and look at opportunities. And you can see with the population growth in 2022, in 12 years, we grew almost 20%. We had the biggest growth spurt in the Coachella Valley of all cities. Diversification of industry. I wanted to read this statement here. One of our staff wrote for me. With a city as diverse as Desert Hot Springs, we need to ensure diversity of industry in the city. Cannabis provides an incredible revenue stream. However, the city cannot put all its eggs in one basket, so to speak. International focus on diversifying the industry in Desert Hot Springs has been underway over the past several years, with major focus on building up our industry area and pouring incentives into spa revitalization to realize strong jobs and TOT revenue. I thought that was a great statement, and I didn't want to ad-lib that. I wanted to read that because what Desert Hot Springs has done with our general plan and with the different industries within our city, we are diversifying. We're looking at warehousing, we're looking at our spas, we're looking at different types of businesses, including our cannabis, on how we can strengthen that and be diversified. So when people come to Desert Hot Springs to invest, they have those opportunities. And to our partners at Mission Springs Water District, last Friday we had the Nancy Wright Regional Water Reclamation Facility ribbon cutting. This was a great opportunity, not just for them to relieve some of the stress off their Horton plant, but this is an opportunity for the city of Desert Hot Springs. And when we partnered about 10 years ago and started talking about the development of Interstate 10, infrastructure was the toughest thing that businesses couldn't get over trying to finance. So with them putting this wastewater treatment facility at the south end of our community, this is going to help streamline the businesses in those areas, because now they don't have to worry about where their waste is going. Protects our water, it keeps our water clean in the future, and so congratulations to them. I'm pretty sure it'll be fully operational very, very soon. Amazon warehouse, one of the biggest questions I get. We were a little sad it wasn't a distribution center, but it's going to be a middle mile center. And what's great about this opportunity is it's 650,000 square feet. It's going to have employ around 1,400 jobs. Now that's really awesome for the city of Desert Hot Springs, and I'm going to talk more about jobs in a few minutes, but this is another avenue to us keeping people to be able to live in their community and work in their community. And thank you to Amazon for investing in our community. And just north of them is a development that's a 60,000 square foot development, and you'll know Pods is that moving company. They've invested in the city of Desert Hot Springs through a developer, and they're getting ready to open up here real quickly. They're almost complete with the project. 60,000 square foot warehouse, and you'll be able to see them driving in and out of the city here and around with having their center right there. And right next door to Amazon there is Desert Gateway. It doesn't have a tenant yet, but they're going to build a 1 million square foot warehouse. So this all goes back to that infrastructure need. It goes back to more jobs, and this is really a great opportunity for the city of Desert Hot Springs. Amazon's building next door. They're actually putting in infrastructure right now, their roads, and then next to that, they've already started grubbing and they're processing Desert Gateway's processing. The resurgency in hospitality sector. Now I got a pop quiz for you. So the CVB did this quiz, and the quiz was, what's the top reason people want to visit the desert? Anyone know? Did someone say hot tub? To go to the hot springs, exactly. That's the number one reason, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and the reason why. We partner with JNS Next, as you've heard, they were part of the sponsorship here today. They have helped rebrand the city in many ways, and they're going to really come up with some great plans. And last year, the city's partnered with JNS as our marketing agency to create and implement a strategic marketing strategy for tourism. And it goes on there to tell you about what they're doing for our community. I'm really excited for some of the stuff coming up. The spa revitalization program, as spoke about earlier by Maria, who was standing up here, the Azure Palms owner, I'm going to talk a little bit more about her and what they're doing, but this program was put together because of the dream that she had and the things that she talked about with the elected officials and our city staff. And she was able to buy this resort, put in money, and get money back through her TOT reimbursement, and now other spas are starting to use this. This is an awesome opportunity for anyone that would like to buy a spa. For almost every dollar that you put into it on renovations, you can get some of that back, up to a certain amount over 2 years. So I'm really excited about this program. If you want to know more about that, please see our city staff. And the resurgency in the hospitality sector, it kind of goes in waves, doesn't it? So in the early 2000s, we had a lot of tech people, retiring early, coming out here, looking at different resorts, and they were actually investing in the city of Desert Hot Springs. And then, the recession hit, some of those resorts sold, some of them had different models, but people have come back over the last few years and really thought, what can we do in Desert Hot Springs? And I'm going to show you some of the resurgency here. The first one is the Ocean Hotel and Spa. This is located off of Hacienda. It used to be the old Ambassador Hotel. And they're under new ownership, 21 beds, new pool, spa, and they're going to be one of our bigger hotels here in the community, working for what we all want to see as relaxation and using the hot mineral spas. Breathing life into health and wellness. Now, this was a dilapidated hotel. If you drive by, it's still there. So in 2021, the city of Desert Hot Springs had to finally step in. There was many health and safety issues with this hotel. This hotel has been here for many years, and unfortunately, we had to shut it down. And over time, with the receivership program with our law firm, we were able to have the courts agree with us that the owner of that hotel did not have the best intentions, and they sold the hotel. That receivership didn't work, so we had to go back to the drawing board again with the receivership, and it worked. We have a new partner for this hotel. They've rebranded it to the Saluna Hot Springs Resort and Spa, and this is just a rendering. They're in the process of plan checking, and that hotel is going to start renovations by the end of this year, early next year, and be open hopefully by next summer. And then, as spoke about earlier, Agua Soleil is Acres Landing. If you haven't had a chance, you're heading out of town, and you see Agua Soleil Hotel, you can turn next to the library there on Park Lane, and right behind there's Acres Landing. It's they've really turned it into some eclectic, really cool little resort area with travel trailers and a spa atmosphere. So here, I show you some of the pictures there. And there you go. So this is kind of the cool little resort feeling they got going there. It's open to the public, and if you get a chance, you should stop by and check that out. And then the Azure Palms, as we spoke about, they came up here earlier to accept an award from the Chamber of Commerce. And I just wanted to shout out to the Azure Palms. I mean, Maria's always had a great vision for the city of Desert Hot Springs. She's always participated. She just doesn't sit there and talk and say, oh, these are bad things. She goes out and she actually produces, and she brings life to Desert Hot Springs with her visions. One of the great things that happened this last Tuesday, the Azure Palms did a presentation to us, to the city of Desert Hot Springs, on a program that they created. They have day spas, and so you can go down there, and for every day spa user, $1 is charged to you, and it goes back to the kids of our city. And this program started in March of last year, and in August of this year, they've raised $15,000 towards programs in the city, for the city of Desert Hot Springs. Yeah, so excited talking about the program that I forgot to show your beautiful spa pictures there, Maria. But on Tuesday night, they took 50 kids from the rec center right here, which is right next door. And they took them to the Disney Hall in Los Angeles. A lot of kids have never made it out of the Coachella Valley. They were on a charter bus, and I heard the biggest surprise to all of them is the charter bus had a restroom on it. So they were really happy about that. But they drove to LA, they got a tour of the Disney Hall. They've also taken a trip to the Acrisure Arena and seen a hockey game, and they have more and more programs. But what's really exciting about the Azure Palms is that they're expanding that day spa area. So if you look south of the resort there, which is the bottom of the screen, Maria's in the process of designing and building that area now. You can see a small day spa area just south of the resort there, but she's going to expand that all the way through, and I can only imagine how many more people, and I hope that other hotelers can look at what she's doing, and maybe they can charge $1. And if we could double or triple or even quadruple the amount of money you're charging, you're donating to our rec center, you can imagine where these kids could go in the future. Hacienda 2, yes, actually, she deserves a applaud for that. Hacienda Street 2 improvements, this is so important. So where Maria's Resort is up in that area, it's the second phase of the Hacienda Extension Project, and that is underway with design right now and improvements, and we're going to improve that area with bike lanes and streets and sidewalks and medians and all kinds of things. Construction actually will begin in spring of 2026, so we're really excited about that. Here's some renderings of that. And you can see that this project goes all the way up through the spa zone and all the way to the new fire station, which we'll talk about soon. And those are just some of the renderings there of what it'll look like in the future. And the reason this is Hacienda Street 2 improvement projects is we have a Street 1, and I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. And then short-term rentals. It's obviously been a big discussion throughout the Coachella Valley and different communities on short-term rentals. And the city of Desert Hot Springs took this conversation up late last year. We had a lot of passionate people on both sides, right? And so you have to, as a policymaker, how do you stay in the middle and try to make the best decisions you can for the city of Desert Hot Springs? So the facts are this. There was $1.8 million collected this last year in TOT and rental certification revenue. That's a lot of money just to say to some of the individuals that don't want short-term rentals, we can't do it anymore. How do you get rid of $1.8 million into your coffers? So I tasked Gary Gardner and Roger Nunez to go out and really, that's the right committee, right? Thank you. To go out and find ways to really enhance this program to make it better for individuals that we found to have pockets of short-term rentals in their neighborhoods, and we're being, sometimes there's party houses, and we didn't want that. So they went out, they did some really great work. One of the things that we did do, any new STVRs have to be within 500 feet of each other. They can't be within 500 feet of each other. The occupancy regulations for vacation rentals, required vacation rental platforms to remit to TOT directly to the city, and then removed vacation rental advertising from their platforms for illegal and non-compliant operations. So we're working with the industry to make it so it's not too encumbrance, but we're also working with our neighborhoods that are impacted to make sure that they're not completely impacted. So that's the story on STRs. And here's what we have in the city of Desert Hot Springs. We also have a cap of 4% of the housing stock in our community, and 276 calculates to under a percentage here in our community. So with that said, these are some of the numbers for STRs. Enforcement of strategies and policies, innovatives, get caught up here. I wanted to talk a little bit about property crime, and you got to continue to tell this story over and over again, because people, if you talk about Desert Hot Springs, still have a stigma. Oh, can't go up there at night, can't go up there, it's too dangerous. That's not true. This stat shows from the Department of Justice in 2021 that Desert Hot Springs had some of the lowest crime. Now let me walk you through this real quick so you understand it, you can explain it. The red line in 2021, that showed property crime per 1,000 residents was over 76. That's pretty high. And in 2021, it was less than 2. Violent crimes in 2021 was 15.7 per 1,000 residents. As you can see, the highest in the Coachella Valley. As you can see, it's one of the lowest in the Coachella Valley, less than 1 in 2021 and 20 years later. This is a story that we all need to tell over and over again, that Desert Hot Springs has some of the lowest crime. This one here shows total crime. There was 92 per 1,000, and in 2021 it was reported less than 3. That's great numbers. And we'll qualify that with, we took our stats from our city for 2023, 2024 fiscal year. This is where they ended up. In 2023, 2024, these are some of the numbers, still staying low. And if you look at it, these are the decreases in the different major offenses in our city. Overall, Part 1 crimes in 2023-24 was down 22% more. Thank you to our police department. Recruitment's always tough in a police department, because when you become a police officer, I was amazed how long it takes. It can take up to 9 months for you to even drive your own vehicle sometimes. So what it does, the first anywhere from 4 to 6 months, you're going through backgrounds and hiring and then training, and it's just incredible how long it takes for a police officer to become a police officer this day and age. But it's important that we go through these, and when we're recruiting, we look at all kinds of opportunities. Right now, Desert Hot Springs has 30 police officers and 2 community officers, recruiting for 1 police officer and 1 community service officer. And so we're working towards that right now. And I wanted to take a second to show you this video.
Desert Hot Springs is a unique place.
We're close to the ocean, we're close to the desert, we're close to the mountains, and the opportunities are endless here.
The city is growing very rapidly, and because of that, the department is too.
My favorite part of the job is honestly the people that I work with.
A lot of us just treat each other like our extended family. We spend so much time with each other.
The culture here is one of inclusion.
The biggest thing for me as a new officer was guidance. These guys every day, they'll push you and cheer you on.
We know that we have each other's backs, and the number one priority is everybody getting home safely.
The people that are behind the badge are people. They're moms and dads, they have children, they have parents. They put on their boots every day, they go to work to protect us.
It all boils down to public safety, and we have the best team that we could possibly have here in Desert Hot Springs.
You're appreciated. You know that the work that you're doing is being recognized.
We will do the best we can in each case to make sure we get justice for the people of this county.
We expect our officers to get out of the car, talk to business owners, stop at the schools, and develop those relationships actually with the community.
I'm not going to ask my personnel to do something that I wouldn't do.
You're going to stand out here from day one when you start with this department.
If you show that dedication, you show that hard work, it definitely doesn't go unnoticed.
The call volume here is high, it's consistent. You build your skill set and your experience level here very fast.
The department gives you all the tools you need to do proper investigations and quick investigations.
That just expands your ability to be a better police officer.
To see that our police department has taken an active role, watching our crime numbers go down, I think that's something they should be commended for.
The amount of help that you're able to provide the community, you have a sense of pride when you leave work. You know that you actually made a difference in somebody's life.
And we just recently, we had 4 police officers. The police department has put 4 officers through the police academy. And this is something that we are seeing as a possible opportunity in the future, is hiring people in the different departments and then moving them to the academy to see what we can do. But we also are supported by our citizens on patrol, and you got to, give them a hand for every time they're out there doing all the extra work that they do for our city. If they weren't available half the time, our officers would have to do road closures and other things that they do for us to keep them available for the emergency calls. And this is always cool to talk about. Albert's our comfort dog for the police station. He's actually licensed, but he gets to go out and make sure that our police officers are well taken care of with their comfort needs and their mental health when they come back to the police department. So that's Albert. And then community engagement is so important. And you saw one of our police officers stop playing and started playing basketball with one of our kids at the parks one day. Yesterday they were out walking with the kids for the National Walk to School Day, and they just continue to do everything for us to make us safe and keep those numbers I talked about earlier down. And finally, I do have some sad news. We were not able to give the police chief a raise this year. So he decided to take up a job at Starbucks. He's moonlighting. No, I'm joking. He's coffee with a cop. He gets to go there and serve coffee, and some people get nervous when he comes up to the side door there and hands them their coffee, and they're looking both ways. But for the most part, he's doing a fantastic job, and he meets with the community. The next one is October 8th, which is coming up soon. The police annex building we talked about, and the bond measure that we took out in 2016-17, that's actually going to be bidded out, and we should be awarding that contract here in December, and that will expand the police operations here. Their 33-year-old building is obviously dilapidated and needs some extra work and love and care, and we keep putting money into that, but we really need to expand, and that's what's going to happen. And I wanted to give a shout out to our dispatchers, the first in the state of California to work on the new state-of-the-art cloud system. And these are our dispatchers that answer your 911 calls each and every day to get people to dispatch to you for your needs. So you give them a big hand too. Compassion, community care, and this is really important to the City Council. To the Hub, which is Hope, Unite, and Build, is a facility that we purchased recently. When I showed you some of the reserves that were spent, we spent it on this building here. We partnered with Martha's Village, and I want to thank them for their service to the City of Desert Hot Springs. They are now transitioning to take over the larger navigation center in the City of Palm Springs, and the City of Desert Hot Springs has partnered with an organization called SWAG, Social Work Action Group, and they started on Monday. Within 4 hours, they had one individual off the street. The bigger difference is that we want a navigation center for our unhoused and people that want to get off the street. And we want a center that's actually going to go out and reach out. Martha's didn't have that transition where they would actually do casework within the community, and SWAG does, and I think that's where we're going to benefit. We have a set team, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, of city staff, but we also need that organization to be able to go in the community and get these people that are on the street the help they need. We know that it's addiction. We know it's mental health for the most part. We have to work through those to try to get them into a place, and this is where the compassion from our city council and our city staff comes from with transitioning. We're handling our problem here in Desert Hot Springs. We know it's a nationwide problem, and we can't just continue to put it on the county and make them try to figure it out. We have to do our part here in our city, and we are. And then we have our unhoused specialized enforcement team. We have a dedicated officer, Officer Estrada, and I want to give a shout out to him. He's on a night shift right now, and his dedication mostly is to the unhoused in our community. So when he's not asked to run a call or go out to assist on a call, he is actually hitting hot spots within our community and talking to these individuals that are doing, just living on the street. But he's also going to these areas that are being terrorized in neighborhoods and businesses by individuals that are just doing bad things. So he's out there each and every day, or when he's on his shift, he's out there doing it. And then we also have dedicated compliance officer, Officer Jackson, and we have a new dedicated maintenance tech that will help with the compliance here very soon. So we have a full team from the city, we have a full team from our contract with SWAG, and I know you're going to see a big difference over the next year, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Encampments are some of the biggest and hardest things that we have to deal with, and I think everyone does in the Coachella Valley, let alone the nation. And it's been a really difficult time to try to clean up these encampments, but our city staff does a fantastic job. Sometimes it takes a while because it's on private property, and we don't always have the right to go on that private property, and we work with the business or the property owners to be able to get on there. But you can just see some of the encampment cleanups that our code enforcement done. It's just amazing how much trash can be collected by individuals. And it's unfortunate that they don't see the beauty of our deserts as much as we do. And one of the hot spots, some of you will know there was a fire there yesterday, on the Two Bunch Palms Hacienda encampment cleanup. And there's 26 encampments up there, estimated over 45 individuals living up there, and it's a big cleanup with the property owner. And we're getting ready to start this fall. We're working with the property owner. We're going in there with our different partners, and we're going to clean up that area. So the next year, or the next few months, you're going to see a huge cleanup in that area. And a shout out to all the different organizations, the Desert Healthcare District, Bridge to Better Project, Street Medicine. We bring in showers and resources, and they basically are coming every third Thursday of the month, and they go to our hub, and people are coming to get the services they need, and to these nonprofits and these organizations that come in to assist us. Thank you for that, because this is much needed in our community. And for those businesses that are being overran by any panhandlers, the City Council adopted a new ordinance, which is a very aggressive panhandling ordinance, to be able to stop that. So we have signage and posters at City Hall. You can meet with us. If any businesses are having trouble with that, let us know right away, and we'll assist you. Animal Hospital and Sanctuary. Now, this is a big discussion for many years. As most of you know, the Humane Society owned this property along with the sanctuary on Indian Canyon. They went through some troubles with the state and decided at that point that they were going to gift these properties to the city of Desert Hot Springs. It took a while for us to receive these properties, but late last year we were able to take possession of these two properties. The sanctuary is up and running. It's a non-kill shelter. It's helping us not to have to take animals to Riverside County for what they do. It's helping us to be able to get more animals adopted each and every day. But the animal hospital itself, we had a nonprofit here in the Coachella Valley that sat down and almost was signed an intent. They were going to move forward with us and backed out the last month, unfortunately. And so the city manager and I went back to the drawing board. We started talking, and we ran into an organization, and I'm not pointing any fingers, that said that they might be very interested in helping us in the future. So, you know, there's an opportunity there. They're excited, we're excited, and hopefully we can sit down and get this animal hospital open for our community. If you walk into it, it's fully functional, ready to go, and the residents of Desert Hot Springs deserve veterinary services in their city. So I'm very excited with what's going to happen over the next few months. The Animal Care and Control Center, yeah, give them applause. The Animal Control Center here in Desert Hot Springs is very small. It's 16 kennels, and that's why the sanctuary was so more important for us to open, so that we did not have to send animals somewhere to do bad things to them. We can actually adopt animals, and our Animal Control Center has 670 animals since the beginning of the year brought into the facility. They've reunited and adopted 392 of those animals, and then we've licensed 303. So there's a lot of opportunity there for the city of Desert Hot Springs, and those individuals work really hard each and every day. This is our Employee of the Year. We have one animal care supervisor, 4 animal care control officers, and 4 technicians, and 35 volunteers, and I really thank them for all the hard work that they're doing for our city. Our senior center operations, I want to thank the Mizell Senior Center. They came in and they helped ride our senior center for many years. But this year we decided the city of Desert Hot Springs was going to take back the senior center and run it under our facilities. And our director, Melanie, I think she's here somewhere. She's awesome. She's come in to be our director, and we since taking, on July 1st, we had 267 transferred memberships from the Mizell. Since then, we now have 421 members at our senior center. And as opportunity for us to expand our senior centers, we've taken possession of the Carl May, we've taken possession of the old library, and the services in the future for our seniors as they grow will only be best if we run the program we thought. So I'm really excited about what's coming down the pipe with the senior center. Fire prevention, our division chief, Brian Wise, worked very close with our city staff on really putting together some really great fire services. And I know there's a lot of CAL FIRE chiefs here today, and I thank them for being here today. Chief Weiser's really given an opportunity to our city to really expand, and I want to thank him for giving all his staff the opportunity to work with us. Fire services is something that's really close to my heart. A lot of you know I spent 20 years volunteering as a firefighter, and one of the things I started to say 17 years ago when I was elected is I'm going to build more fire stations and bring more fire equipment. Well, it took 17 years, but we're there. So Desert Hot Springs still continues to be one of the busiest stations in the Riverside County. To date, I've gone out on 3,799 calls, and you can see the heat map there. One fire station downtown. We do have a second fire station in the west end of the city, but about 80% of their calls are county related and not within the city, so it's very far for them to help relieve services. So what we've talked about is building a new fire station for many years, and we're finally there. Station 98 was dedicated a couple years ago, renderings, and now we're under construction and probably about a quarter of the way there. This is at the east end of the community. It takes over 8 minutes for our paramedics to get up there. Everybody knows if your brain doesn't have oxygen, you're going to probably die after 5 minutes. So now having services in that area in the east end of the city is going to be so important for medical services. We've committed 2 apparatuses, and we've purchased both of them, and they've both been delivered. The paramedic services will actually be up and running in 2 months. The staff's being trained for that, and that's the paramedic squad will be out of Station 37 to help relieve call volume there. And that's a Quint. That's just a light fire truck. And this fire truck will be stationed out of Station 98 in the future, and this has been delivered, and they'll be training on that very soon. We hope to have that station ribbon cutting sometime next May in the city of Desert Hot Springs. I'm so excited for this for the city of Desert Hot Springs. In the cannabis industry, people always talk about what you're doing, what you haven't done, what you can do for us. And, you know, this has been an opportunity for Desert Hot Springs. We didn't have a lot of industry our way. We partnered with the cannabis industry over 10 years ago, and now we're seeing the fruition. In 2016, we opened our first legalized grow facility here in Desert Hot Springs, and we've expanded from there. We did take a lot of time on our ordinance last year to look at the cultivators and where they were needed to be evened out. Our city manager spent about a year now with us, and one of his first tasks, his first month, was what can we do here to make this better for the industry and that we don't see businesses going away. So we reduced our taxes to $5.75 per square foot, which was down from a little over $10 a square foot. And we did a bunch of little things that would help. And they seemed little to a lot of us, like regulatory permits and things that aren't that sexy, but it's huge for the industry because it actually gets them up and running and able to function. So now if they start a business, they have a 6-month ramp-up period and don't have to pay taxes. And then we changed our dispensary retailers from the cultivation, which used to be number of plants, to space measurements now. So there's a lot of little things we're doing, and I know we need to go back to the table with our retail businesses. Abe tells me all the time. So we're going to do that in the next few years and talk about what we can do. But just so the rumors stop, I keep getting, all the businesses are closing up and going away. That's not true. For the last 2 years, I've reported 63 operations. Guess how many I'm reporting today? 63 operations. We have 9 retail storefronts. We have 35 cultivators. We have 9 manufacturers, 5 distributions, and 5 non-store retails. The regulatory permits issued in 2024 was 7, and then we have 2 more in the pipeline. We have one in full development, and we have 1 entitlements going on right now. So the industry is still staying strong. Yes, there's a lot going on in industries, and ownerships are changing, but it doesn't mean it's changing for the city of Desert Hot Springs. And I want to give a shout out to the industry. 5,000, I keep saying 3,000. It's over 5,000 jobs just in this industry. And 34% of them are Desert Hot Springs residents. 1,747 people live here in Desert Hot Springs, don't have to travel anywhere in the Coachella Valley. They can they can live here and work here. This is such a great partnership. And we have some of the biggest brands in the country here in Desert Hot Springs. Resources and allotment of infrastructure. Now, this is really awesome to talk about. This is where everybody's like, let me hear about the project. So let's start with one of the bigger ones. We'll start on the west end. We'll move towards the east. But the Highway 62 in Pearson, if you ever come up Highway 62, the Dillon Road and the Indian Canyon all developed with signal lights, but Pearson is not. And it's become very dangerous over time. This project's going to happen here in Desert Hot Springs. I'm going to give you a timeline in a second, but it's about an $8.5 million project. And get to my notes here. I want to tell you what SHOP stands for. It's Safety Highway, I think I'm going to mess it up because I moved, oh, there it is. Safety Highway Operation and Protection Program. This is through the state. So when our city staff went to the table with the state, they have to figure out how to find funding, right? So this was an opportunity to find that funding, and there's going to be a traffic light. It's going to look a lot similar to the Dillon and 62 area there. So this is basically a timeline. In May 2021, the City Council City Council had staff start conversations, and in 2022, more meetings happened. 2023, more meetings happened, and it finally started scoping the project. And then 2023, Caltrans came out with the first draft of the project and what it looks like and how the funding will go. And then in February 2024, they'll have another meeting. I think there's another slide here. There it is. And then in July of 2025, the project approvals, environmental documents should be underway. And then October 2027, I know it seems like a long ways away, but if the state of California is involved in it, this is really a short timeline. It's 2027, the construction contract will happen, and in 2029 it will be completed. But this road needs to be fixed, and it's on its way. We talked about receiving this grant a couple years ago, and now it's we're anticipating construction to start in spring of 2025. It's the rest of Palm Drive, so we've done all the improvements along Palm Drive, and this is going to be the rest. So everything from Camino Campanero south to the Interstate 10 will be redesigned, more streetlights, sidewalks, and more bicycle lanes to make it safer for individuals driving in that area. And then, as spoke about earlier, the Hacienda Improvement Project. This is the project we've been talking about for some years now, and it's finally, we finished all the right-of-way purchases, and we're in the process. We finished the design, and now we'll award the contract in January 2025, and the construction will begin. This basically goes from Russ Drive all the way to Tamar, which is to the east of Palm Drive, and this will begin a very cool, and we've got some renderings here of what it'll look like, safety, bicycle lanes, sidewalks, and a much improved roadway. And these are some of the other projects in design. You can see a list of them there. We've got all kinds of stuff going on, from different bicycle lanes, parks. There's all kinds of things, and I'm going to highlight a couple here. At the end there, I just want to talk about this real quick. So we had a lot of uproar in our community about building a restroom, and I wanted to talk about this because on the project list right now is the demolition and the rebuilding of Mission Springs Park Snack Bar restroom, which is one of our parks in our community. These parks get dilapidated buildings, and we have to go back to the table and find ways to fund them. So recently there was a lot of talk in the community about a year or so ago, why did you spend $750,000 on a restroom? Well, that's not exactly what happened. So we want to set the record clear. In 2021, 2019 through 2022, 2 different cycles of the Community Development Block Grant was awarded to us. And we put in during that time period for a new restroom at Tedesco Park. So it was a little over $500,000 that we received. But due to the supply chain and the cost of prevailing wage at the federal level, when you hire an individual at government, they have to be certified as a prevailing wage contractor. So it costs almost double what anyone's Joe Schmo's business would cost to build a restroom. So with that said, when the project was all said and done, we had 4 bidders in it. They all ranged anywhere from $600,000 up. And we awarded the project to a company for $658,500, and we always put a 10% contingency. This wasn't just a prefab restroom. This was concrete demolition, landscaping, new lighting, in and out, electrical, plumbing, the list goes on. And when it was all said and done, we had to use some of park development funds, which was $186, which is not taxpayers' money. That's development impact fees that are paid into those funds. With all that said, said, the project came in, was budgeted for 724. The contractor did it for less, came in under budget at $675,000, $952. And we have a brand new restroom, landscaping, new lighting in this park. And this is similar to what will happen in Mission Springs Park. I just don't want the bad information to get out there. And I'm going to work through these slides pretty quick. A lot of you know last year we really touted the fact that we had a lot of damage done by Hillary, and we had a lot of projects to get through. And this was some of the damage that was done and some of the repairs that were done over time. And I just want to again thank our city staff, especially Danny Porras, our assistant city manager, for all the hard work they did on this. There was 4 different areas that were affected by all this, and these are just some of the pictures and the devastation and the corrected measures that were taken. And this was all funded through through the federal government, so reimbursement program, the Federal for Emergency Repair Relief Program, I'll get there, FHWA. So what happens is you have to get reimbursement from the federal government, and what took place was after all these repairs were made is we didn't have the money up front to do that. So we actually took a small gap loan from Riverside County Transportation. I want to thank them for stepping up to do that for us so that we could fund the projects, and then we put in for reimbursement there, as you see, and the city will be reimbursed and we'll pay off that loan. So no taxpayer money having to be used for this. And then I want to talk a little bit about housing. We have 953 units that are either permitted, 875 are commercial permits, residential permits, 78 are commercial permits, and we have 1,100 units in the pipeline for building here in Desert Hot Springs. And I'm going to kind of break that down for you. Skyborn Development, which is on the west side of the city, was a D.R. Horton project many years ago before the recession. Strategic Partners bought it, held on to it for many years, and over the last couple of years, they partnered with Lennar Homes and built out a village, and then they started to build a new village, and this is Village 3. This is 286 new homes that are being built. The infrastructure's in, the models are going up, and if you want to check it out, you can go out to Skyborn and see the new models here very soon. And then Skyborn, or Strategic Partners, has been in due diligence with 2 new home builders, 411 homes in one Village 5, which is up next to Pearson Boulevard, and 182 homes at Village 10, which is to the north of the project. That's a total of 1,290 homes that are being built by Skyborn's development. That's really going to take a huge chunk out of our arena numbers and build affordable housing in the city of Desert Hot Springs. So I'm very excited for them. And then Rancho Descanso, which is to the south of our community. This is being built also by Lennar Homes, and this is another 76 homes. And then just south of that is Aventura Palms, which is GHA Companies, and they're finishing 34 homes in a community that was been stalled for many years. Next to our park is Adobe Communities. This is an affordable housing project that the county owns that land there next to the library, and they're going to put 180 units there, and the project's in entitlements and working towards construction real soon. The Maverick gas station at the south end of our community, it's one of a handful in the state of California. It says the first in California, but it's actually not the first. But it's actually having a soft opening sometime in the next day or so, if not today. And on October 10th, we'll have a grand opening for that facility here in the city of Desert Hot Springs. Green Day Village is another project going along Palm Drive, and that project there is actually going to start construction here real soon. They're going through entitlements. Beyond Food Mart, we talked about this last year. This is a gas station at the corner of Pearson and Indian. This is something that's been needed for many years. A lot of people don't have gas services on the northeast or northwest side of our community, and this project's going through entitlements and will be under construction sometimes early next year. This is a great opportunity for anyone that wants to develop in the city of Desert Hot Springs and you want to add an ADU to your property. If you don't want to go through the whole plan check and architectural and construction or architectural portion of it, you can pick from one of our pre-approved plans, which is 8 of them, and just be able to submit through there and not have to jump through those hoops of designing your own ADU. So this is another great opportunity. And then Mission Springs Water District's investing in the city of Desert Hot Springs. If you haven't seen their plan, they're actually going to have a service center at Mission Springs, next to Mission Springs Park on Park Lane. And this is just some of the renderings, and we're pretty excited for what they're going to do. It's going to be a one-stop, full-service shop for anyone needing their water services and what's going to happen. And that construction will start hopefully sometime in next year or so. And civic engagement, this is an awesome program. If you in City of Desert Hot Springs don't have an opportunity to understand, you have an opportunity to understand government. And I wanted to give a shout out to Emily Pearson. Where are you out there? Raise your hand. She's an administrative assistant to our city manager, and she actually brought this program from another city she worked in, and she's done 2 of them already, or 1 of them? 1? 2. 2 already, and this will be the 3rd one. This one's going to be starting this spring. And this is going to be an opportunity. No politicians are involved. You just get to go sit and talk with city staff and understand how government works. You don't have to hear any speeches from any of us. But it's, yes, exactly. Thanks, David. So it's an opportunity to learn about your city, learn about each department, and learn what really makes a city function. And this kind of morphed into something that's really close to my heart. This is the City of Desert Hot Springs Future Leaders Program. This will start in October. We have 6 individuals, young people, juniors and seniors at our high school that are going to be involved in this program. This is very similar to that program, but it's going to tailor towards their age group and how city government works. Many years ago when I was elected, I started a city government program for our schools, and it kind of fizzled out over time, and I really always wanted to bring it back. And then when Roberta and Emily came to me and they said they were going to do this, I said, wow, fantastic. Again, I won't be involved, but we don't want to hear from the politicians, but it'll be an opportunity for these students to learn more about government and maybe lead them into government in the future. In our downtown, yes. In our downtown arts, we've been working with Friday Nights on Pearson for a while. We've morphed it into a couple different opportunities. And recently, when our city manager came to work here, he made a suggestion that we hire someone that's been very successful in the 29 Palms area. So we've hired the 29 Palms Farmers Market, and we've contracted with them to come in and really put on Friday Nights on Pearson. So it's pretty awesome, yeah. It's a great opportunity. There'll be live music and all kinds of food trucks, and awesome, and you're going to see it really take off here in the near future. And then what is it? Oh, here's some of the pictures. I should have showed those. And then the downtown mural. If you saw this mural in 2023, we had our unveiling of this mural, and Casey Zoltan, who is a local artist here in Desert Hot Springs, brought in a world-renowned artist, Trav, and they put this together, which was really awesome. And you can see this along Palm Drive. And Casey opened up a studio here in Desert Hot Springs. And so the city council on Tuesday partnered with him. We had a program that we were going to do 3 murals for about $160,000 in our community. And we thought it's just not spreading the money out enough. So the Art in Public Places Fund is a fund that developers put into when they build. And it goes into a fund just to put art within the community. So there's about over $500,000 in that fund. $240,000 of it we're going to give it to Casey to curate murals within our community. He's going to take a whopping 0 out of that $240,000. He's doing it out of his kindness of his heart. He's going to bring in world-renowned artists and work with local artists on building or producing murals within our community. 12 murals over 8 months. And we're going to have a first Friday of each month, and we're going to unveil 1 or 2 or possibly 3 murals each month once they start. This is a great opportunity for Desert Hot Springs to be put on the map, utilizing local artists and world-renowned artists. We did a count on businesses downtown. This is a focus that the city council is going to work on in the next few years, is what does our downtown look like and how do we build on what we've already done. There's 50 businesses in that area, and we've got to support our local businesses downtown. We've got to figure out how that could be an eclectic, artist, family-oriented kind of opportunity for people to come, walk, and get what they need when they want to shop and eat. Recreation and outdoors, this is awesome. We continue to work on all types of operations with recreation. Our Agents of Discovery app, if you haven't downloaded it and you have some time and you want to go for a hike, you can download this. It helps you, with a fun interactive program on some of our hiking trails. I was talking with our staff the other day, and I want to see if we can get this in our schools, and maybe something that we can do in the future where we really take this app and really get kids out into nature again and show them what it is to hike our community. People always talk about the bump and grind across the freeway, but if you come up here, there's a lot less, and there's a lot more beautiful trails up here. Our corporate yard park, this has been talked about for a couple of years. We received a grant from the state, and we had to go back to the drawing board on some lighting issues, but we're delayed a little bit, but we're actually going to award this contract. Oops, I went too fast. We're going to award this contract in January, and when we move forward with it, this is the concept. This is going to be at Hacienda and Cholla, next to our corporate yard. It's going to house a new baseball field, which is a full-size field for our seniors, and a full football field for our youth program in Desert Hot Springs. This means that these activities won't need to rent school district facilities anymore, and they'll be able to have their own facilities here in Desert Hot Springs. So really excited about this park. And our rec center, you're in our rec center, and kids are a little upset at us today because we had to set this up, and they want to play basketball, but we'll get back there really quickly. But this is a great opportunity. We took over our rec services many years ago, and an opportunity to really build on these programs. And over time, Roberta Cernick and her staff has done a fantastic job in here. Just wanted to show and highlight some of the things we've done. Not only do we have the rec center and the teen center, but we also have open gymnasium now. This is something I pushed many years ago, is that we need to not only have this open for our kids, but we have to have open for our young adults and even some of our older adults that want to play basketball and do other things. And so these are the opportunities. For $50 a year, you can become a member and you can get all kinds of opportunities to use this gym and other facilities here. So our fitness center was right next door. If you're a resident of Desert Hot Springs, for $50 a year, not a month, you can actually go and work out in this gym, and we just upgraded some of the equipment here. And then these are some of the programs that we've actually put back into our community. These are different programs from karate, yoga, archery. Can you believe archery? We have archery. And you know, they started this and they've done it over and over again. They keep selling out with this class because people love it. Indoor pickleball, co-ed basketball. You know, so there's so much there that you can pick from. If you say there's nothing to do in Desert Hot Springs, go to our website, see our rec center, and see what they're doing. And there's the flyers for all of them. Forgot to click there. And our Furby Aquatic Center, it is closed right now. It's under renovation. The facility itself is over 13, almost 14 years old, and it's had to have some renovations done to it. But the City Council has dedicated the next budget cycle. We've given our city staff direction to try to find a way to keep this pool open year-round. Let alone, we had to go, swimmers. Very passionate. So with that said, we had to close it down and get into construction this year because our school district needs to use it at the beginning of the year for their swim programs. So it is going to be back up and running very soon, and we're very excited with that. In our Little League, the City of Desert Hot Springs Recreation Program took this over. We run Little League, so if you have kids that want to play in Little League, here's an opportunity. AYSO and youth football, also great youth sport organizations in our community, not under the rec of City of Desert Hot Springs, but definitely partners with the City of Desert Hot Springs. And I just want to show a little video on the rec center here.
Discover Desert Hot Springs, your destination for health and wellness.
All day long, Desert Hot Springs Health and Wellness Center hums with activity.
We have our recreation center, our indoor gymnasium, our fitness center. We actually have a counseling center here and our Furby Aquatic Center.
We have lap swimming, which is specifically just in the morning, as well as open swim during the day so kids can come. And then we also have water aerobics as well as swim lessons 6 months all the way to adults.
At just $1 a day for a family of 4.
The biggest compliment we probably get is the value of our pool.
One of the coolest things at the Furby Aquatic Center pool is the temperature of the pool itself. It's maintained at a very refreshing 76 degrees all summer long. Built in 2013, the 36,000 square foot Desert Hot Springs Health and Wellness Center consists of several separate but adjoining facilities, which maximize opportunities for residents of all ages to take part in so much that this city has to offer.
The space allows us to kids attending our after school program, the teachers walk them over because it's connected, and parents that are working can still have their kids in extracurricular activities.
During school, they help with the school, and that's great. You know, they help with the homework and computer lab and going to the pool, playing sports. I mean, it's just amazing.
I like it because we do fighting, kicks, and kata, and we run around. And then we do some practice.
There's also indoor pickleball, yoga for adults and kids, basketball, volleyball, and archery.
So we go from 8 years old all the way up to 18.
And I mean, I consider it to be a very unique program for a city to have.
Adults and seniors can also benefit from the fitness center. The cost to use the fitness center is just $50 for an entire year. It just got brand new cardio equipment. It's open 5 days a week, 9 hours a day. The Wellness Center also houses a free dental center operated by DAP Health and a designated care space.
We provide free mental health services here at the care space. So I have had the opportunity to work with a lot of school-aged children this past year, as well as with parents and the local school districts.
We really want our residents to know what's here in Desert Hot Springs instead of crossing the freeway.
To learn more about recreational opportunities at the Health and Wellness Center, summer programs, and the Aquatic Center, go to cityofdhs.org or search Discover Desert Hot Springs right here on NBCPalmSprings.com. I'm Brooke Berry for Discover Desert Hot Springs.
It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Taking the taxpayers' money and giving it back to them and services that they can really utilize in our community is really close to my heart. This is another opportunity through the rec department. If you're a photographer, there's 3 categories there. You can submit photos and there'll be winners. Special events that are coming up. We also have some great special events coming up here in Desert Hot Springs. As you can see the list there, and you can check out our website for the bigger list on that. The aesthetics program, this is something that Councilmember Nunez and I worked on very closely. We wanted to give back to our community, and we partnered with the City Council on giving $250,000 back to our local small businesses. Whoever applied was able to put up a new sign, beautify their business with trash enclosures or road or street parking lots, and landscaping. So this was an opportunity that I think needs to be brought back in the future, as most of those fundings have been used, but a lot of the new signage you see along Palm Drive and Pearson Boulevard are part of this program here in Desert Hot Springs. We gave back to our small businesses. And if you're a homeowner and you want to enhance your properties, you can work with the county and through the City of Desert Hot Springs, and there's up to $50,000 available to you also. So if you have a dilapidated property that you just can't find funding for, talk to the city and see if you qualify. And back to our code enforcement, I just want to say thank you for all the hard work that they do. In 2023, they opened up over 1,000 cases, notices violations there, citations, and totaling that amount of money. We're not out to find people to collect funding. What we are out to is get a compliance so the neighbors of people that aren't adhering don't have to look at the blight. So we're working each and every day to beautify our community. And this project was something that I took on in 2016, and I partnered with the Assemblyman Member Garcia's office when he was our representative, and Supervisor Manuel Perez. This property was high in crime. It was mobile homes that were being just inundated by crime in that community, and we went and partnered with Housing Community Development. We cleaned up the park. If you drive by today, you'll see the brand new tiny homes that are being put in there. Residents are having affordable living that can live there and not be terrorized by crime anymore. This is a great project for our community. In city rebranding, as we talked about before, we're partnered with JNS, and we've coming up with this new branding over the next year. We rebranded about 8 years ago, and now we're looking at another rebranding. It's going to be something going forward with Desert Hot Springs, and it's called Where Life Flows. And here's some of the rebranding that you'll see coming up very soon. It's pretty awesome for the city of Desert Hot Springs, what it's going to look like, and over time, what the branding will do for Desert Hot Springs and really bring pride into our community. This is the biggest stigma as mayor of Desert Hot Springs I have to get over, is what the stigma of Desert Hot Springs has been in the past, and it's not that anymore. Come up here, visit Desert Hot Springs, see all the great things that are going. And we collaborated with Riverside County at the Henry Lozano Center here in Desert Hot Springs. Is now the Vet Center, and that's Henry's mom over there. She was an advocate for Henry. Henry passed away in a tragic accident when he was younger, and she's been a rock and a mentor to our community on making sure that his memory never gets forgot, but also that veterans in our community don't get forgot. So we want to make a bigger opportunity for veterans in our community, but we're starting small by partnering with the county. Second and fourth Wednesday of each month, you can get benefit counseling, claim assistance, and appeals. This is at Guy Tedesco Park at the Henry Lozano Center. And did Principal Tinoco make it? Where is he at? You're so quiet back there. I just wanted to say a special thank you to him. Omar has been a partner with the City of Desert Hot Springs. He started in Desert Hot Springs at an elementary school, Bubbling Wells, worked his way into middle school, and then was told he's going to the high school. But I think that's really where he wanted to be. So 2.5 years ago, he took over the principal's job there. And what Omar's done for our community has been awesome. He's taken a really tough situation about 3 years ago with our students and really built pride over there with them. And this is really trickling out into our community. There's multiple programs going in with our high school. And with that said, our city staff had to put together our holiday, didn't have to, they put together our holiday parade. And they asked me, and we put some names together. And I asked Omar, will you be our Grand Marshal for the 2024 holiday parade? And he said yes. So thank you. And I also want to recognize Sally Hedberg. I don't get to do a lot as mayor. I'm just one person making choice of 5. But there's a couple of things I get to do in this October. Every October, we get to name a Senior Inspiration Awardee for the county for our city. But the county puts this event on, and it'll happen sometime in spring of next year. But I didn't hesitate this year with all the work that she's done with our local library. She's the secretary of the board of the Friends of the Library. She works with Bridge to Better project, and she's there once a month at the hub, working with them. And her sidekick Dawn there. If I could give to 2 people, you both would get it, because you're both inspirations to me. And congratulations, you will be the senior inspiration for 2025. And now that we've made it halfway through my presentation, I'm joking, I know some of you are like, let me get out of here. I have some final thoughts, if you can just indulge me for a minute. This is our city council, and we work each and every day to make a better life for our community. We are people that represent you. A lot of times people see us as a political figure, or they see our staff as government, and that's not what we are. We're real people trying to do real things in our community. People asked me a long time ago, do you want to run for a higher office? And I thought about it, but then I turned around and said, no, I love where I'm at. And I think you could ask all 4 of my colleagues. We can get out, feel in touch, the difference we make each and every day in our community. My wife, who's here today, she is my rock. I turned 50 and got emotional all of a sudden. I have no idea where this came from. If you ask my kids, they'd be like, where'd this guy come from? No, we both grew up here, and the reason I get emotional about it is because we put in our heart and soul into this community. We really have. So with that, collect yourself. I had a lot more to say about her, but I'm not going to, because obviously it's not going to happen. I want to end on some inspiration. Years ago, I was taking a class or a seminar, and Maya Angelou came up in our class, and there was a quote that she had said, and I thought, wow, that's so cool. And a couple weeks ago, our neighbor lost his wife, and it was a sad situation, but they lived a full life. And he invited a bunch of neighbors over for something, just a get-together last week, and he wanted to say a few things about her. And he quoted Maya, and I thought, oh, wow, I got to use some of that. So, Bill, if you're watching or you're there, I'm stealing some of your quotes, but thank you for reminding me how inspirational this person is. But when I was looking at it, there was 3 quotes that really stood out to me, and I thought they really are something that I wanted to talk about today. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Kind of rings like a Jan Pye quote, huh? I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands if you need to be able to throw something back. 2 catcher's mitts, you can't give it back. Desert Hot Springs has to throw some stuff back sometimes because we have this bad stigma, and we're not that community. We have some of the lowest crime in the Coachella Valley. We have the hardest working people, and we have the most dedicated people in Desert Hot Springs. And I want you to remember that. And the last quote, the one that really stood out to me, and the one that Bill used, when you learn, teach. When you get, give. And this is something that I do. As the mayor of Desert Hot Springs, I've been a volunteer with Little League for 25 years. I give back to our kids in our community. I gave back for 20 years as a volunteer fireman. I have learned a lot, and I hope to teach a little bit of that. When I get, my wife and I give. When we have enough, we give to our food programs, we give to our community where it's necessary, and until it hurts sometimes financially, we do what we can. And that's, I could say that, I believe, on the behalf of the City Council here in Desert Hot Springs. I believe that Mayor Pro Tem Jan Pye, Council Members Betts, Gardner, and Nunez would say the same thing. We have our differences at the City Council levels a lot of times, and in the political world, but for the most part, we're all giving back to our community as much as we can, and I hope you can remember that. On behalf of our city staff and our city, thank you.